Hello, Benjies. Welcome to the Bingeworthy podcast, part of the Geekish Network. The premise of our show is throughout the week, we binge watch a television series. And then we come right here to the Bingeworthy podcast every Wednesday at 8 o'clock Pacific time to provide you with an insightful, informative, and always entertaining analysis of the show. And at the end of our podcast, we rate the television series based on our unique binge-worthy scale. My name is Johnny Randolph, or you can call me Randy, and I have three extraordinary co-hosts. To start off, my first co-host is the captivating. She is the dynamic, the best.
Man, my intro was fantastic.
And he's breaking up. Is
and
it
we're
just
breaking
me?
up.
You want to say hello to the people?
Oh my God! Yeah,
Randy,
Randy, you broke up.
I feel
Randy,
like you broke up.
Did I
do
break
it all?
up?
Do it all over
Yeah.
again. Do it all over again.
All of
do
my
it all
intro,
again. Do it all
like
over
all
again.
my fantasticness.
I'm saying, yo, Black Michael Buffer behind. Go ahead, man. Do your thing. Let's go.
Okay, well, we having some technical difficulties, but we're going to keep things rolling. As I said, we have the insightful, the captivating, the badass Miss Cortney, right? Say hello to the people.
Hello, hello.
All
Good to be
right. And this guy here is Mr. Jet Setter Fresh. He is the coolest geek this side of the Milky Way. Also, one half owner of the Geekish Network. Chuck, say what's up to the people,
What's up,
man.
everybody? Your check is in the mail. Your check is in the mail.
It's in the mail. All right.
Postmarked
Royalty,
and
man.
everything.
I'm like, dang, I'm gonna be the baddest woman in the universe.
That's who I am. You damn right. That's who I am.
And my other co-host, he really needs no introduction. He's the game spitter. You know, he's nationally known and globally respected. Everybody give it up for Syntell. Say what's up to the people, man.
Boy, you ain't lying, yo. Let's get some funds for you, boy. You bringing everybody in just right. I like
Hey, man,
that.
that's how we
You
do.
on the mic.
That is how we do here
Your
at
check
the
is in
Bingeworthy
the mail.
podcast. How's everybody doing? You guys doing all right?
Doing excellent.
Yeah, especially
Oh,
after
yeah.
that intro.
Hey,
man.
I'm
You
ready
did-
to
that
get.
was-
Yeah, that intro was
were
like
mad, like,
that
oh,
spectacular.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
it is all real. So, guys, we're gonna get into our show. If in case you missed crosstalk, we are going to be reviewing Dota: Dragon's Blood. Now, this show is set in a fantasy world. The show follows a dragon knight, Devion, who hunts dragons to make the world a safer place. In a battle between demons and dragons, an elder dragon merges his soul with Devion. Along with the moon princess Miranda, Devion pursues a journey to stop the demon Terrorblade, who wants to kill the dragons and collect their souls. Now, Dota, it is a Korean American animated epic fantasy streaming series that is on Netflix. It is also a video game. It's based off the video game Dota 2, which is a multiplayer online battle arena game. And it's published by Valve. This show was produced by the studio Mir and associated with Ashley Edwards Miller's company, Kaiju Boulevard, and animated by Production Reeve. The series premiered on Netflix on March the 25th, so a little while ago, 2021. And it is presented in a style that combines anime with other Western animation tips. All right, so guys, we're gonna hop really into this. First, I want to say there are some rumors out there that video games don't necessarily make the best movies or television shows.
That's
a
not
rumor.
a rumor.
I'm not going to debate the merits of that. I'm not. That's not why I brought it up. So, Cortney, does Dota support that narrative that video games don't make good movies or TV series, or is it an exception? What's your opinion?
Well, I would
Shots fired.
right? I guess I would what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now, but I would counter. That's the word I'm looking for. I would counter and say that a lot of times the animation uh from a video game does you sometimes do fare a little bit better than like a movie or a TV series. As of right now, the only other film to video game or video game to film or TV show that I really like is The Witcher. I really like the initial Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie, like back in the day. But other than that, I haven't really enjoyed Assassin's Creed went all the way left. I don't know what happened there. But I thought Dota did a pretty good job. And I think they had more to work with within the animation and was able to give us the cool fantasy elements. So I think it did a pretty good job.
Cool. Charles, man, you had a lot to say. So what do you think? Did Dota prove that video games don't make good television series, or was it an exception?
I think it was an exception. There's not a lot of great story in Dota. It's like a bunch of people get online and they play like flag football. That's basically what it is. It's like football attacks, and you have one player and I have one player, and we just tackle each other all day long. Whoever kills the other person or captures all the flags wins. So, but I think they did a really good job with this.
Okay. What about you, Syntell, man? How do you feel Dota stacked up against the rumors that video games don't translate into good movies or other properties?
I got to be a little honest. I didn't play Dota. I know of it. I know the strategy and the tactics that go behind it. And like Chuck said, it really is a geekified version of flag football, destroying towers, and first person to destroy them all wins. So I don't know how much depth of story that was involved within the games. So for me, honestly, when I watched Dota, the series, the Netflix series, it was a clean slate. I didn't really have anything to really compare it to. So with that being said, I was really entertained. I was like, wow, damn, okay. Is this really the story of this game that I just kind of like half dismissed because it didn't really hold my interest? I'm like, this is kind of like the backstory, all these different warring factions and stuff. I like the magic. I've always been a fan of dragons. There's elves involved, moon goddesses. So it's giving me all the things that keep me interested. So just from a cinematic and story perspective, I was entertained. Like very entertained. I just unfortunately can't compare it to the game because, like Chuck said, it was geek flag football.
But you enjoyed it, so we were basically not necessarily this game, but just games in general. You know how there are misses with a lot of video games when they're trying to translate it into a different type of property. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. All right. Well, Chuck,
this had me looking up the game though. Like I as I was watching the series, I was like, dang, let me find out more about this game because, like Syntell, I never played it and I didn't even really know anything about it. So I was like, look, I wonder what this game was about. And the more I researched, I was like, oh.
Yeah,
none of that's in here.
I did, and from my research too, they took some liberties with the series that aren't really in the game.
Right.
So a lot of the storytelling and world building. So that was my interpretation. All right, Chuck.
Yes.
Animation, voice acting, it's very important to the story. And last week we had the pleasure to watch a tour de France of great voice acting. You know, we had J.K. Simmons, Sandra Oh, Mahershala Ali, like in a bunch of characters. How do you feel the voice acting was for this series?
I actually enjoyed it. I'm not gonna say it's the best. I took it for what it was, right? Like they had the L speak, I guess, some type of Irish accent, Scottish, whatever it was. It was a really bad Irish accent, but I respected it as it's an original accent of the L's themselves.
It was, yeah. I was like, what?
I was like,
y'all brought that up because I was like,
it was.
Bad.
But they did have like the Invoker was Troy Baker, right? And Troy Baker is a huge voice actor. Like he does Uncharted, he's done The Last of Us. He's been in every video game on planet Earth, and Troy Baker's cool as shit. Like he comes in, he kills it every time. They do have some really good voice actors in this, but I thought it was interesting. Like the L's, why would you give them Irish accent? I thought it'd been different. They just gave them an Elven. It has nothing to do with the voice acting itself. It was just like I was like, just give them an Elven accent. Make them very proper.
Just be British.
You
Just
know?
Might as well
just-
have had a Bronx accent. It would have held the same way to me.
Yeah, they said the same at that point. They could have had a proper Italian accent, like a proper English
Why do they
speaking
have to be
Italian.
Italian?
I don't know. I'm just making up stuff. I mean, why they
I
couldn't be
almost wish they would have
Irish?
created their own dialect.
Me
Like
too,
if they'd
me
had
too.
the actors
Yeah.
create their own dialect.
Yes, I was
Yeah,
hoping
because
for
the
that.
Irish lilts, is really hard. It's because it's
Yeah.
all about the lilts, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like you have to have that thing that gets you into it. And I didn't believe anybody.
Yeah.
I
They-
completely forgot
they-
about it until you just said it.
They were trying to be Irish/Gaelic, and Gaelic is really hard, and then they try to mix the both of
Yeah,
them in
it's really
there.
hard.
And I was like, why would you try to mix those? I understand Irish came from Gaelic accent, like that's the roots, but don't do
It shocked me too. I was like, am I gonna see a leprechaun? And like we
Yo,
got
it-
fairies and everything. Are we gonna get a
Yeah.
leprechaun or something like
Yes.
that? I was
took me
I
out
was
of the
shocked
It
by
was
the
hard to
accent.
do that,
Yeah.
especially when I think Lord of the Rings set such a high bar for what elves sound like.
Listen, I'm gonna be real honest. I forgot all about the friggin' Irish accent when I, realized the polyamorous relationship that was going on.
Nah, hey, we gonna talk about that later. We gonna talk about. I actually love that. That was dope to me.
Her
Her pod. Her pod.
Her
That's what it
pod.
was.
When she accused
Pod.
them,
Yo,
she was
y'all
like,
got
"You got your
pods?
pod,"
What?
and they were like, "What?" It's like, so it's true what you say about humans? You only sleep with one person? Like, how can you handle that?
About that pod life. Yo, what's up? Come be a part of the pod, homie. What's up?
I thought that was
Oh,
great. I
God.
wanted to go deeper into the elf culture. Trey, Syntell, what'd you think about the voice acting?
It took me out of it because it was just so far left to me. I was like, why? That was the whole thing I kept saying. I'm like, why? And to agree with what Chuck was saying, I thought the voice acting outside of that, outside of the obvious, I thought it was good. It's just those couple of characters.
It was just that one girl, like the main, little girl with the shadow.
Farm Ram? Is it Farm
Yeah.
Ram?
Fimrin?
Yeah,
Fimrin?
Farm Ram.
Fimrin.
Ram. Okay. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
how I am with names.
Tour de France.
Yeah, I
Tour
guess.
de
Did I say
force.
that?
It's Tour de force.
But let me tell you something. The what I loved the most was Marcy. Marcy didn't say
Marcy
one
was
word.
my favorite character.
So let's get
Not
into the
one
character. Let's push
word.
this through the character.
And
Okay,
her
so
expression was better than the voice acting.
Mhm.
They animated the hell out of that little girl.
She was my
Okay.
favorite character.
your
Hands
favorite
down.
character? Why so?
Because she was just so you got everything she needed you to know as the audience. Even when she was injured, even when she was hurt. You know what I mean? Like she was still like gangster with it. She was literally the ace. She was the heavy for Miranda or like Marana. Like I could have done without Marana. I was like, can we get more Marcy? Is Marcy okay? Where's she at?
Yeah.
And I thought they played up the Marana character. I don't know. She came across as real stoic to me, and it was like her job to help Davion. I was like, why did she have to help him? I don't know.
Oh, I didn't get that. I thought that
I got it all the time,
I thought
'cause
she had a really good episode when she was like trying to like coax him out. Like when she told Marcy to go ahead. I thought she had a really dope episode where she was like really just like battling with Slyrack.
Mhm.
Like she killed it.
Sorry.
Yeah,
So Davion. So let's talk about the protagonist. We got Davion. He's our protagonist of the story. When we first meet him, he's a badass dragon fighter doing what badass dragon fighters doing. He's killing dragons. So
Right.
Trey, how do we feel about Davion? Or how do you feel about him?
I mean, well, at the gates, he set the tone with how he did his dragon killing. But then it kind of looked a little left to me because when he was fighting regular people, even though he was outnumbered, I was still expecting him to be like, "Yo, you gonna at least." I was expecting like a really good fight scene, and it was all right. I mean, I just expected him. I expected more out of him. Like you fighting these, 1,000-pound dragons. These little mere mortals should be like light work, and he kind of got hemmed up. But that's a small slight to the grand scope of his character. Altogether, and him coping with the fact that his body is the new ticking time bomb, that he doesn't know how much longer he's going to have control of his own faculties, his own body, before this spirit that's taken over his body just totally like eliminates him. I thought that was interesting. The conversation that he had with the other dragons was really good when they were in the I guess shadows
The
plane
ether,
or whatever
the
it was.
ether, or like,
yeah.
Ether.
yeah.
I thought
I
that
really,
back and forth was fun and interesting because there's somebody whose sole purpose is to hunt dragons. Now he has one in them, and then he's brought to a council full of dragons to try to plead his case. And I thought that was pretty interesting. So I made me like him a little bit more.
I liked him from the beginning, from his opening scene, like in the tavern. Well, I guess not the opening scene, but the one in the tavern when he knew those men were about to kill the elf that was there meeting Marana, and he played along like he was going to take this elf out, and then he let him go. Do you know what I mean? Like you could already tell from that moment that this is someone who has a code that he lives by, even though what he suffered, losing his family to, a dragon attack, he still knew the difference between right and wrong in terms of like supernatural characters, which is why he made the choice that he did, even though he hated dragons and hated Slyrak. He made the choice in order to like the lesser of two evils. You know what I mean? I'm going to support this dragon and fight alongside this dragon against that character terribly because I think he's worse than this dragon. So he has the ability to deduce and takes time to really figure out what's going on and isn't just brute force like Gaston running in there trying to just kill the beast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to me, wouldn't that be more accurate? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, his bravado he shows to humans is just for show. Like he's a real character. Like I'm the badass in front of everybody. Because every time he tried to be a badass from Marana, she's like, I'm not hearing this. I'm walking off. And
that annoyed me.
I loved her for it because she knew it.
I loved it too.
Because she's seen him be a human. And he was a human, especially in the bar. And I think that's why he never fights humans hard, Trey. I mean, Syntell. I mean, seriously,
I
think
his life depended on that. No, I ain't trying to hear that.
I don't know.
They was gonna kill him.
Which went?
When he was about to be attacked by the mob.
The mob. Because
he had killed their brother or friend.
Yeah,
he was wearing the guy's ring.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
He spit up his ring.
He spit it up.
He spit up his ring. Yeah. He
ate that dude.
He ate that dude. Yeah. And I like Slyrak as a character too. Like, kill me, little mouse. And he killed him and cut his throat at the same time. It was like, I got your ass. I love
the entire Dragon Council when they were like the little mouse, little mouse. I thought that language was. I thought it was dead on. I thought that was really good.
And I thought the dragons were smart. Like, you kill us because we kill humans, but y'all kill each other. You don't kill humans. Like that whole that
then
was
he had
powerful.
that moment when he broke and he was like, you don't understand, I hate y'all.
Yeah, like they made him say, I hate y'all.
Yeah.
It made me think about that old parable, the scorpion and the frog, when Slyrak killed him. You know, because the scorpion and the frog, he's convinces the frog. I think it's a frog. I don't think it's a turtle.
It's a frog.
Yeah, he convinces the frog to take him across, and then he kills the frog at the end. He was like, "Why did you do this?" He's like, "It's in my nature." You know what I mean? And that's that's what I got from that moment. And I was like, that was dope because it happened so fast. I was like, oh,
yeah,
damn.
I thought about that. I thought he was a little too, I don't know, earnest almost. Like he's had a very tragic life, and he's a very friendly, nice guy for somebody who's had such a
but he's a dragon knight, though. He's a badass dragon knight. He's not just a normal dragon knight.
Because we saw his older counterpart. He's more stoic. He's more focused.
Yeah,
and that's what I would think a real dragon.
The other guy that was in the castle.
The other guy. What's his name?
Oh, were you looking for him to be the Witcher? You looking for him to be Geralt of Rivia?
Kind of, because that's the kind of life he's lived. Like, and it's a dangerous job. It's a really dangerous job. He's probably lost a lot of friends,
but he's
lost family members. And like, I just don't see a person who's gone through that and been as successful as he have, being like that earnest and that friendly. I don't know. I felt like he would have a more tougher.
I agree with you. Yeah, I feel like he was super young and like just doing his best to like keep it together. Because it's like you can live in that darkness and get sucked up by it.
Yeah.
Or you can choose to like just drink and
I thought he was DMX. He was like DMX. What's my name?
But DMX is not like Davion at all. If he was more like DMX and that darkness and that stoicism, I could have bought it a
better
little
yet,
bit more.
Or better yet, he's not that, but he's like he's Lil Wayne. He's the rapper that talks about I got all this, I do all that. I'm the baddest motherfucker on the
I
planet.
love that y'all comparing them to rappers.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, he's that rapper. He's like Kanye West in a weird sense, right? Like, I'm just gonna brag about how great I am, and that's where I live at right now. The other guy lost everyone. Like he watched dragons kill everyone.
What was that dude's name? It's
I forgot his name.
Gosh.
All right.
Yeah, but he's the guy that was stoic and he had the one scar and you watched his entire troop
he watched his whole
massacre.
His military die. He watched his military die.
He reminded me of the dude from Avatar.
And Davion's like,
you know, who
I
was
had
like the
died.
bad guy.
Yeah. They were one and the same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Davion's on the other side of it. Like,
my
crew didn't die.
James Cameron.
Yeah.
Avatar.
Mm-hmm. Like, my crew didn't die. Like, or Davion's like, I lived out my crew because I'm better than all of them. I'm Kobe Bryant here.
And you don't think Davion would have, like, that would be his attitude as well? Because that's what I thought.
Not necessarily.
That's what I thought. Because it's a tough business, man. You're a dragon fighter. It ain't a lot of cheers and it ain't a lot of happiness. You losing a lot of people all the time. And just his earnestness, and I don't know. I just thought he would have been more stoic and tougher.
Well, somebody, I don't know if it was Court or if it was Chuck that said that he's a young man. And he's full of, spunk and vinegar, and he's a young man in the game. Like somebody, I think Chuck said young Kobe.
Yeah.
And he's good at what he does. I think that you add another 10 more years to his life, you'll have that character.
Yeah.
Or even not even 10 years after he lets what's happening to him settle and he finally gets a moment to sit and breathe with it, he can probably be that character as well. But right now, at this point, he is like a young Kobe. He's just good. He's nice and he knows it.
I think there's also the other layer of
and his name is Caden.
Caden,
That's his name.
The
Caden.
other guy.
Yeah, Caden. Mm-hmm.
I think there's the other layer that we've only seen him in this one period in his life. Like, there's a whole other, like, his beginning, how he became a dragon knight, how he met his mage. We saw his mage in the first episode, and then we don't see him again until the end. I forgot who that dude was. I was like, who are you again?
Yeah, I was wondering where he went to.
I mean, he sent him away to send notice to the crew about, like, like the council or what have you.
The other one was only Caden was the only one that's alive. Yeah. So
okay.
Caden was the only one that was alive.
He sent him to go and get Caden. So, but like, it's also, I think he really was feeling Marana. You know what I mean? So it's like you're gonna put on a different side of yourself in order to, like, cater to this person that you're attracted to. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to just show up with all your darkness.
He's a dragon knight. What is?
No, man. You ain't going to show up with all your darkness.
Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to get laid at the end of the day.
He's used to bedding a lot of women. I don't really know if he's going to change it up for this chick he just met at the bar.
She's not like another woman.
She's the princess.
And she's not feeling any of his normal tricks.
Man, let me tell you something. She is his Kim Kardashian. Yeah, Kanye betted a lot of women.
Stop being crazy because he was with Kim. What are you talking about? It's a whole bunch of dudes get the finest chicks, and Beyonce literally wrote a song about it. Like, Jay still out here fucking up, right? I mean, I don't know if he would really. I don't really know if he would change.
That's like
he's used to getting.
Jay already got her. Davion still
ain't got her. He ain't got. He's paying.
He don't have her.
Okay,
you know
I'll buy that.
Like, didn't she show up at the door when he was like half naked with that broad? Like, she was like,
well, she found him naked when he. Yeah.
Well, she found him naked after he,
turned into
appeared after he fought Slyrack.
He's been naked a couple of times before.
Yeah, that's she always talks about it.
Like, you already know what it is. So
what she say? What he say? He said,
"What's up?"
No. There was a quote where she said something, and he said, "You should be a knight," and she said, "You changed clothes 4 times. You should be a princess."
Yeah. That was funny because she comes at him just like regular.
Every time she sees him, he's always in a different set of clothes or he's naked. Like, damn.
But can you blame her? I mean, she's a princess. She's dope. She can fight like nobody's business, so she don't need nobody to save her.
I
He's just a
like
regular
that about
dude. So
her.
she's like, whatever. Do you know who I am? Is what you really need to be asking. And she's rolling with one of the dopest bodyguards on the block.
The dopest. So when
Yeah.
they go to the,
Yeah.
was it that when they go to talk to whoever that was, and they're going to basically sell them into like prostitution. So they're about to put them in jail. And what's her name?
Marcy.
Marcy. She just opens up a whole can of whoop ass.
Whoop ass.
And
Oh,
that
I
was
love that.
that
Oh,
was
my gosh.
amazing.
And she was
And
calm
the whole
about
time-
it too.
And she
the whole-
just had a little bitty ponytail. She just little. She's smaller than Marana.
Everybody,
She's
yeah.
like- I mean, she looked like she might have been like 14.
Yo, and to me, what made that great to me is that they knew they was gonna handle them. Like, you like
They
in
weren't worried.
hindsight, they weren't worried at no point in time. They was like, I wish y'all would try to roll
Like,
up on
all
some
right. I mean, I guess I got some
dumbness.
time to whoop this ass. real fast.
Exactly. Be like, I gotta get 15 minutes to spare.
Mm.
We can run that. Yeah, I love the both of them.
Even
But you-
Battle Cat.
was
I
kinda
know his
interesting,
name's
too.
not Battle Cat, but I like the cat
Yeah,
too.
the cat was badass too.
Yeah, he was a great another silent character
Yeah.
that just you got his story from his actions, always on time, saving the exact same moment when somebody's about to get they shit tore out.
Yeah,
Just always showed up. But I want to speak on something that was interesting too. The relationship between a sniper and a spotter, and you saw that too with both Miranda and
Marcy.
Marcy.
And Marcy.
Shit, hold on.
His fist is Mike.
Yeah. I totally.
Okay.
I totally.
My bad.
Go ahead.
I was because like that relationship of being able to point out where the target is going to be because it's too far away for the archer to see, and then they had nonverbal communications in order to be that precise. I've never seen that before,
It was
and
dope.
I like seeing new things. And I was like, oh, that's dope. She's a spotter and she doesn't even speak, and it's all hand signals. I was
Man.
like,
Let's
that
talk
was a
about
great ad.
Mirana's archery skills. How she was
Yeah.
curving arrows and everything, like pew, pew.
Like
She was
want it.
on it. She
Like
was
want
on
it.
it. She was on some next level.
Oh.
They were next level. They were next.
They really were.
Because when they were in the bar, I was like, okay, some guy's gonna come on. They're gonna cliche it up, and he's gonna holler at him. They were not worried at all. They're like, okay. And then he got called out, and I was like, that's a beautiful opening. Because usually he's like, he picks on the women. Which one of y'all want to bed me tonight or something like that? And they're like, neither one of us. Then the man comes and saves them, and the elf needed to be saved, and it was like, okay, that was kind of cool. They did a lot of cool things in this
No, they
animation.
did. So, and we see Mirana, she gets kicked out of her kingdom because what's her name? Hammond?
Yeah, I've got her name. Yeah,
Fimrin. I think is what it is.
Fimrin.
Fimrin basically steals the lotuses. So is it true to us to believe that they're going to kick her out just because one person came in and stole the lotuses?
Apparently, it upset the goddess, right? It upset the goddess, so I could see them
I
putting.
thought
her
she was tasked to go and to find the lotuses.
They were.
But
She
she
was
tasked
being called
herself.
Princess of Nothing.
Tasked herself.
She tasked herself.
She tasked
though, yeah.
herself. I don't
Yeah.
think she was kicked out. She just
So then, why
made
were they
that her
referring to her
mission.
as like Princess of Nothing? You're nothing now. They said that
'Cause
multiple
there's no
times throughout
lotus.
the-
There's no power in the
So
kingdom
if she did
anymore.
that to herself, did she really demote herself down to being nothing, and everybody knew that and accepted it?
Well, she
They-
was the only one that was like a true believer, from my understanding. That's why she
Mm-hmm.
was telling the stories. That's why she believed the story as a kid. That's why she was telling the story to the young kids, and everybody else just saw it as just like a cool tale, but we're not really buying
Wait,
in all the
hold
way.
on.
No,
I think
that's
y'all are
for-
talking about two different characters.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Fimrin is the one who
yes.
stole
She-
the lotuses.
Right.
Yeah,
He's
Fimrin
talking
stole
about
the lotus.
Marana, who is
I
the
was
talking
princess
about
of
Marana.
nothing.
Princess.
oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. I think that
because that guy
Because
literally
I-
referred to her. He went through her titles, and it was demotion, and the last one he said, "You are literally the Princess of Nothing now."
Yes. I
But
think
thought
that's
it
because
had
the
to do
lotus
with
is.
her plan too. Like,
Huh?
wasn't she supposed to be a princess when like the goddess came down and like
I thought she was already
she
a
was
princess,
taken
and
in?
it was
Well-
her job to protect the lotuses. And so when some of them got stolen,
Yeah.
somebody demoted her.
Yeah, the goddess demoted her.
Yeah,
Said
yeah.
she was
Yeah.
Princess of
The
Nothing.
goddess herself demoted her.
'Cause
Yeah,
Because
she was demoted.
Yeah, because she made Luna the one to go get the task Luna to get the flowers back and punish everything she ever saw. Like Luna went around and was like, I'm killing.
No. She wanted punish. Well, I guess it was punishment, but Luna just took it and ran with it.
She did.
It was just
I
massacre.
mean,
She
she
Yeah.
kind of
need a
said,
reason. She
I
didn't
don't
really
know.
need
She
help.
kind of set that expectation. What was Luna to do? I would have done
Yeah.
the same thing.
Like,
I
She
mean,
was
I
like,
think
you
she
need to.
definitely did. Any woman who would like let her own child die because she wouldn't bend the knee, basically.
Man, that was crazy.
That
That
was
whole story was
ruthless.
bananas.
That
I
was
like,
ruthless.
Yeah.
So she
I think I'm
definitely
gonna love
passed
hating
Luna.
this chick. Yeah, I loved hating her.
That
Oh,
little
Yeah.
girl, and I was feeling that little
Salamine.
girl too.
Salamine.
That little,
Salamina,
yeah,
yeah.
Salamine.
Salamine,
Like
yeah.
that little girl, she was kind of dope. She died, but she went out swinging. She was like,
Yeah.
"Nah, bitch, I'm your daughter. I shouldn't have to bend the daggone knee."
Yeah,
Fuck
she was like,
you.
I love you as a mama, but that's it.
Yeah,
She said,
ain't
"You're
no
my
deed in
mother.
me,
I'm
your
not going to
mom."
bend the knee to you because you're my mother." That was dope. That was
that was,
dope.
I mean, that was two
You're not gonna be worshipped by me.
like
You're my
equals.
mother.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
two, and she was like 7. She was
Mhm.
7 and knew herself. I was like, "Go ahead, little girl."
And her
I
dad
think her
was
mother
like, bend the
recognized that was
knee, because I want you to live. It broke
Yeah.
him. He was like,
It
whatever
broke
it
him.
Felt him
takes.
though.
I
did
did
too.
too.
Especially that ending too. Like at the very, very end, I was like,
He
feel
loved that
you,
little
dog.
girl. He
I
loved
feel you. I'm not mad at
like
any of the steps
all the
you've
scenes
taken.
they
I
had
get that.
together. He knew that he loved that little girl. He was like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is,
Like,
this is
yo,
my
you over
boo.
here talking me all this bullshit, and this is your
And I think
daughter.
her mother cursed her. I think her mother cursed her.
I think so
she
too.
did that to her.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
And, yeah, and even in the episode, I think it was around episode 3 or 4 when we first meet them two together.
Mhm.
He basically tells like, "I will never forgive you for letting her die.
Yeah,
Never.
I don't blame him.
We can
Yeah, I
sleep
felt him
together,
on that.
sure, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
him on that.
You like we can sleep together, but no, I,
I
will
agree with
never forgive you.
everything he did,
Mhm.
even the
Yeah.
steps to take her ass down.
So
Absolutely.
answer me this question. So, and I may not have connected all the dots. So he needed the flowers in order to maintain his power, right? That's what I'm thinking, because there's that scene where he ends up exerting all of his power and he ends up turning old, and then he takes away the landscapes, all the flowers in the landscape, and sucks all that power in. So is that why he needed those flowers, so that he can be powerful enough to get his game plan going?
No, I
I'm
think
obviously missing something.
never got
thought that he cursed the flowers. Basically, he knew that if those people agreed
Okay.
to what they wanted in order for them to be able to open the box, it was basically a double-edged sword.
Mhm.
It was booby trapped.
Right.
He knew that Salamine wanted those lotuses, that she needed them for her power.
Yeah.
So he cursed the box essentially, so that like no one could open them. And then like he used his own magic. He used his own magic to create the spell to curse the box.
Right.
That's what I got.
I remember
he
that.
he literally
Yep.
like gave everything he had in order to
And
like curse this box.
And he knew that she was the most
And that's
powerful
why he
one of
turned old.
hmm
Go ahead,
Okay, well, I thought he needed the power from the flowers, because it did, because when he did his arm
He didn't
thing,
give a shit about the
and
flowers. He just knew she did.
and all of the flowers withered and turned gray, and then he revitalized. So I was like, oh, well, maybe he needs those flowers in order to maintain whatever this power that he has. So, okay,
And the flowers really didn't have any power, did they? It's just what's her name? Salamina.
Salamina. She
She just really wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did have the power in order for her to control the people, because she was mind controlling those people. That's how she connected to them psychically.
and
without the
she put the
flowers-
mark on them.
And then she got sucked in the
She
mouth
put the
and all
mark
that
on.
power faded.
She put the mark on. But
And
no,
the real one showed up.
no. What made it really
Right.
It
good?
was like,
What made it really
yo,
good was
somebody
like,
hired me to come get you.
what made it really cool was the box was cursed. That when she opened it, when it opened for her, it blocked out the moon, which took her
Yes.
power away from
Which
her.
took
Yeah,
her power.
because he put a hit
And-
out on
Yeah,
her.
And
put a
then
hit on
Luna
her.
didn't have any powers.
Mhm.
And then Luna didn't have
Because
any.
Luna
none of
was
the
striking
men.
down everybody, boy.
Everybody,
She was.
because she was literally the right arm of the law. She was Silamine's executioner. She was her
Yeah.
everything. She was her will.
Let's
And then
talk
like
about.
you block out the moon, and then all
There's
of
no
a sudden
power.
Luna's just a regular chick.
Yeah.
She was just
Yeah.
a regular old soldier.
But I liked her because they committed genocide against the damn elves. I mean, they burned and killed and destroyed
ruthless.
that whole damn village,
Yeah,
and it was really for nothing.
but that's why
It
Luna
was only because
mad.
they didn't worship Salamina,
Right.
Salamina, whatever her name is.
You mean Femrin,
Femrin.
but that's why Femrin was mad.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean, Syntell?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Syntell.
well, the goddess was mad at Salamine because she murdered all of the elves and she still needs her worshippers. That's what I.
She mad at Luna. So Celamine was mad at Luna. She was like, I ain't tell you to do that. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
She was
like,
hilarious. She's like,
what
you
else
told
did
me
you
to
do?
do
Far
this.
left.
She was like, no, bitch, I didn't tell you to do that.
Go kill
You don't kill
everybody.
nobody.
But that's
I
exactly
need
what she
people to
told her.
worship
Whatever-
me, dummy.
But that's exactly what she
I can't
told her. She was
control
like,
anybody. She
you
literally
need to
told
you
her
need
to
to
do that.
cure all the ailments, and like, to me that's a green light to go in there and massacre people.
And go
Yeah,
ham.
exactly.
Yeah, it's
We
not
all-
like,
we
oh,
all
I need
read
like,
that wrong.
and
You
then when
give
I
me the
do
green
it, you're
light.
like, oh, I'm like, yeah, to me
Yeah,
she
we
was
all
giving-
read that wrong. We all were Luna.
right.
Oh, my
That's
bad,
what
I
wait a
thought you
minute.
wanted everybody done up.
that was what I would have done.
I mean, I thought you wanted me to end this shit. I thought you
Right.
just gave me. You just gave me carte blanche. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like,
right,
you literally
right.
just told me to like ride in and like ruin shit, and now you mad?
That's
Like,
what I
wait,
did.
I don't understand this. See, that's just like a girl. I told you to do this, but I didn't mean it to be like
Right,
that.
right. I said I didn't want nothing from the store, but you didn't bring me back with what you know I want. Yeah.
I'm like, what? Oh man, yo, and they killed her little cat. Her little cat was dope too. I liked her little evil cat, the opposite
Yeah.
of battle cat.
Yeah, the evil battle cat.
Oh,
The
the evil battle cat. I
Yeah,
wasn't
yo,
mad
they
about
hemmed him
that.
up. He lost the
Yeah.
power. Next thing you know, that net was thrown on him and spears were sticking out his
Just
ass. I was
sticking
like,
out, yeah.
damn, they
No,
got him
no.
like that.
No, how bad Luna was though. Luna was badass. She was like, "Kill me." Luna's like, "Kill everybody behind you. I ain't gonna kill you. That'll make you a martyr. I'm gonna kill everybody that
Yo, that was
follows you."
ruthless.
Yeah.
And I was
That
like, "Whoa,
ruthless.
that's some real shit."
That was
yeah.
fucking kind of brilliant. I mean, that
It was
really
great,
good
yeah.
strategy because I didn't see it. Well, I mean, I did see it coming, but I was like, hey, they're
Mhm.
not gonna do that. But I was like, oh, they did it. Well,
And she tricked him
played.
into even revealing herself, because at first it was like, I just want her. And they were like, no, we're going to protect her. So she steps up. And he's like, no, I'm just going to kill all your people. And then I'm going to hold you hostage because we're not going to make you into a martyr. We're going to put you into this room
I'm gonna-
all by yourself.
And you're gonna sit here and watch me kill everybody that you've ever loved and everybody that supports you.
Because they said
your
that
fault.
they were both prisoners, right? She's
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm fine with that, but
That was a
I can
good
see
line.
daylight at my prison.
Yeah, that was a good line.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
a good line. I was like, oh, that was a good little comeback. But yo, that's
yeah, yeah.
But I couldn't. Go ahead.
This was some really good, witty, and smart writing
yeah.
It
throughout
was.
this
It
whole
really
entire
was.
series. Like, they wrote the hell out of this series.
Yeah, from starting from nothing, they did a good job.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
they, go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead,
no.
Chuck.
I said for them not to bring in anything. I don't think they brought any real game characters into this. They just brought people connected to game characters into this world, which is interesting.
And that's kind of how the story is told from what I read about it. They filled in a lot of the blanks for a lot of the things that they did, because they said in this world, some of the goddesses, they're just like randomly at the bar. So they're like random. They see them going throughout the towns and anything. So they kind of shape the personality of all of the characters in this story. So it's kind of made from almost scratch.
Okay.
nice.
Okay.
The one thing that I was confused about was what was the guy who was the little girl's dad? What's his name?
He doesn't have a name.
He's the Invoker.
Yes, he does. The
He's known-
Invoker.
He's
The
known as
Invoker,
the
yeah.
Invoker, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. So the Invoker was fascinated by Femrin, and I kept thinking that he thought she was like the embodiment of his daughter.
That's what I
That
thought.
she didn't actually die, and because Femrin had abilities that no other elf had.
Mm-hmm.
And I was waiting for them to explain this, like how she had these like secret abilities that were only, told about as lore in a story. And he was so fixated on Femrin, like when she first got there, because he wasn't going to let her in. He appeared to like not want to let her in. And then all of a sudden he was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to let you in. And then it was just like, like they just dropped it. Like that was the point. That was a plot hole for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she looked like his daughter. Like when she was young, they almost looked alike to me. So I thought that there was going to be some sort of connection between the two. That we would later get some sort of big reveal, like they were related in some sort of capacity. And we're going to get a season 2, so maybe that's,
maybe
that's,
Femrin may have been Selamine's daughter.
Well,
She
I
could
took
have
it
had a
as
daughter.
Well, I took it as he saw her as a true believer to the point that she was even able to find his secret location. That's something to be like, let me check on you because nobody should be able to do that. And she had powers on top of it. That's why he watched her. He was like, well, let me just see what you can do first.
Yep.
If you're able to crack the code to get here, let me see what you can do. And he gave her the coin, which allowed him to spy on her. And then he find out that she was worthy of being somebody that can manipulate things outside of the safety of his castle, kingdom, whatever the spire thing that he lives in. So to me, I just saw that he saw her as a very good tool to use in order to manipulate whatever it is he needed done outside of the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was some connection there, something a little deeper, because he took a
Yeah.
real strong liking to her.
He
off of
did, and let
very
her get
little
away with.
information.
He
Yeah,
let her
Yeah.
get away with talking to him a certain kind of way, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, what was that line? It was good too. When he kind of.
Yeah, because I was thinking that maybe she may be one of the children of Salamine that Salamine discarded again.
There's something
And that's why
there.
she looked
there
alike,
is something
like his
there
daughter,
between them.
because it's Salamine.
Well, like you said, there's going to be
Yeah.
an additional season, so I'm sure they'll
Yeah.
breathe way more life
Into her, who she really
because she's
is.
dope. Like she really blossomed towards the later episodes too, when she was really flexing her powers. I was like, dang, okay, I could see the potential.
Yeah.
She could really be dope, especially in that one-on-one fight. That the last.
Yeah, when
fight
she blocked the
Oh, she was putting in work because she
Yeah.
The fight
couldn't
scenes
move
were
fast
amazing
enough.
in this.
Yeah.
How do you
And she
guys
had the
feel
cool
about the
little
fight
circle
scenes?
blades too. I was like, yo, that's nice. I like that.
Even the dragon scenes. How did you guys feel about the fight scenes?
I like the fight scenes. Because each one was a different type. I mean, like the archery fight scenes were great. Like I said, it was a unique thing having somebody that doesn't speak, being a spotter. That was a unique way of fighting. The blinking in and out of distance, kind of like what's his name from X-Men? Oh my god, the one that teleports.
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
The whole Nightcrawler thing that she was doing. I thought that was pretty cold. And even the longer kind of fight scenes with the dragons that was tracking them through the forest, that whole thing with the cat getting away through the woods, getting away through the side of the mountains, all of that, like it was all of it was really well done in its own world of unique fighting style. It wasn't like the same thing over and over again. It wasn't like a hack and slash anime where it's just the same thing. It was, each one was unique.
Courtney, what'd you feel? How'd you feel about the fight scenes?
they held my attention. I thought they were really exciting to watch. Like I think I told you and Chuck, I watched Dota around the same time that I was watching Yasuke. So I was like going back and forth. And I got to be honest, I was definitely more invested in Dota because the fight scenes for me in that and the story were very intriguing. And so I just was like all in. I really liked the scene when like right after he threw up the ring. He threw up the ring, and it was the first time that he transformed into his like hybrid Slyrak. I really liked that.
What about you, Chuck? You want to weigh in? How
Yeah.
you like the fight scenes?
I thought the fight scenes each had their own personality, and I think it was like
I thought they were character in the show.
I thought the way who was paired when they're fighting or when they're against militaries, it really suited the personality of those people, and it turned into a personality. It's like watching So You Think You Can Dance, and two dancers that are very different styles get together, and you see something very unique from them, something magical between them. And I felt that with all the fight scenes in this. I even felt that with the arguments. Even when the people that argue with each other, I think that they're all unique.
What I was amazed that they were able, like the episodes are only 26 minutes. They were able to put in some great fight scenes and really move the story along. And you don't always get that. Sometimes you get too much story, not enough action, too much story. So I thought it was really slick and cool how they were able to strike that balance between both of them.
How many episodes was this?
It's only 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Do we feel 8 was sufficient to tell this story?
Yeah, actually, I think it was just enough. I didn't think I'm surprised I'm even saying it now. It was actually just enough. It was well weighted.
Yeah.
Whereas Yasuke, the other example, it needed at least 3 to 4 more episodes, at least 3. This didn't feel like that. It was done, and I was like, okay, I'm satisfied enough.
Yeah. I would have loved to have 2 more episodes, get a full 10, but I was okay with the 8. I was like, this is good. You told me a good first chapter. I want
Yeah,
more. Go ahead.
no, kind of similar to Chuck. At first, when it ended, I was like, "Oh, that's it." Like like Caden came in, he's taking him, and then Marana is over here, Fimrin is over there, like, and I was really annoyed at first, but then I was like, "Well, I guess you left everybody hanging. They're great cliffhangers." Like as an audience member, I'm definitely gonna tune in because I want to know where is Caden and the mage, where are they taking him? Because at first Caden wanted to kill him because
Yeah.
he just wanted to get Slyrack. And he literally tried to kill him, and Marana and Marcy saved him. Or he saved himself when he turned into full Slyrack, and Slyrack just took over. And so now to see him again, like, okay, we're gonna save you. I was like, oh, well, that's a shift. Is this for the mage's benefit? Like, what's happening
We
here?
don't exactly. It was complete strike. Empire Strikes Back.
It was complete
It was
180.
like whoa. I want what is my
I
what's
was
my third
expecting
movie?
a resolution. I didn't expect for it to end. I was like, whoa, hey, wait. We got some behind the scenes or something like, and then they already have season 2 approved. So at that point, they turned into assholes to me. I was like, oh, so you
Yeah.
really
gonna
gonna
leave
give me
everybody in jeopardy.
1980s cliffhangers, right? Is this
Yep.
really what
Yep.
we doing?
That was some He-Man shit.
Right.
That was a Friday He-Man.
Right.
And
Be right back.
You're not gonna get in for 3 days to find out if Tila survives.
Right,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, I felt a certain
I was
type
thinking
of way.
like, who shot JR? Like, duh. Then we got to find out next season, man.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh,
whoa.
man.
They just really ended it like this. I guess I was like, I was upset they ended it the way they did, but it made total sense the way they ended.
No, it does. It does. It just,
Like the
I
big
feel
battle
about that, how I
happened.
feel about streaming.
I felt like it was a full arc. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I don't know. What you guys want to talk about? What you guys want to talk about?
I mean, I don't know. I think
we're ready. I think we're ready. The characters, I think we're ready.
All right. So let's start out. Last week we ended with Cortney. Let's start out this week with you, Cortney. Let's rate. And for those of you who don't know, we rate the series. We give it a 5. That is a full binge out. That just means you're all in. This show is great. You love it. The next one is a 4, and that's a full meal. While it's not extraordinary and great, you enjoyed it. It fills your appetite, and you're willing to come back. Now, our next rating is a 3. It's a mini meal. It was like, well, it got my interest, and maybe I'll tune in for the next season. Maybe I won't, depending on how things are going. Our 2 is a mini meal. Like, mini meal. It's not that good. I'll pass. If I'm absolutely bored, I'll watch it. But other than that, I'm not going to indulge. And our 1 is a cringe word, like this, just some old bullshit. And I will not be interested in this story at all. So with that being said, we're going to rate it. Cortney, how do you feel about Dota Dragon's Blood?
Wow. So I didn't know what to expect going in because I didn't have the benefit of the history of the video game. So I just went in like it was, just like a regular anime. And I was pleasantly surprised between the writing and the the action sequences and the animation itself. I love magic dragons and a period piece anime. Like I was all in, and I watched it. I gotta be honest, I binged it, so it was binge worthy for me. I'm definitely excited about season 2. Like I said, there were some plot holes, but I think with 8 episodes, is that what it was?
Eight episodes.
With
26
8 episodes, I
minutes.
think that they did a really solid job in building a world as well as in getting me invested in the safety and or success of the characters. So I'll for sure be there to watch season 2.
Okay. So you're giving it a full binge out. All right.
I'm giving a full binge out.
I'll go next. I didn't know what to expect because I'm not familiar with the Dota world at all, and I'm not a big time gamer. And when I went in at first, I don't know. At first, it moved a little. There was, I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it at first, and so nothing in it really just stuck out to me. I watched it again and I did pick up some of the nuances, like what Trey was saying. At first, I really didn't pay attention to like the shooter thing between Miranda and what's her name,
Marcy.
Marcy.
Marcy. I didn't pick up on that, and then the magic and all of those things, it started to come together. And with you guys talking through it, you all actually helped me to elevate my rating. So at first I was going to go with a mini meal, but you guys talked me through it and helped change my mind. I want to give it a full meal.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
So Chuck, we'll go with you.
Man, I watched this in one day. The whole entire thing in one day. That right there just gives it a binge out. I couldn't get enough of it. I was like, wow. I was dozing off, like wake back up and watch this because it was that good. Usually when I doze off, I let Netflix watch me or I'll let the streaming service watch me. I have no problem letting that happen. Matter of fact, I sleep on a streaming service every night. I sleep on one. I pick one, pick play. I don't know what I watched 8 hours of sleep in, 5 hours of sleep in. But this, and I was like, oh no, I have to watch. I want to know what happens next. I think it was the witty and snappy dialogue for me, and the smartness of the dialogue. They didn't make us stupid. They didn't make something. They didn't make it like stupid, average white medieval. It didn't feel that way at all. Like Davion, these characters could have been anybody, and I would have felt them. And I love the whole pod scene. Like, what, you got one lover? Like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
really? Like, that's what y'all do? And it made sense because, you know, we saw the pod and everybody was kissing on each other and everything. And
Oh,
where'd you
but-
go? You leave us. And I was like, what's going on here? And they never dive into what the pod is. Then and they even asked him, like, you want to come hang out with us in the pod? She was like, no, I'm going to be here on my own. And they're like, where'd you go? You left the pod. And I thought that was just her, like her family, her homies. But no, okay, it was a whole different situation.
It was all of,
was
but no, it was
polyamorous.
that, but it was all of it.
It's all of it.
Family, homies,
Yeah.
lovers, all.
All of it, yeah.
Yeah,
And
because they
so-
rolled with her. They were like,
Yeah.
no, we're in.
Right.
I don't know what you're doing or why you're doing it, but we're here.
Yeah.
I liked that. I
Me
liked
too.
that. They,
Me
they
too.
had her.
And
They was
Hey,
like,
the best line is like the same person every night. Y'all get tired.
Yeah. She's like, you got your pod. You know, why don't you go in there and tent with your pod? And he was like, what do you mean? She's like, aren't y'all doing a thing? She was like, no. She's like, what?
What?
She was like,
Why
got
y'all
down
traveling
with that.
around together, right?
Yeah.
Yo, that pod life had Miranda looking like, I'm a little jealous. It was the one thing she couldn't really compete on. She's bad on every
Yeah,
other level, but that one
yeah.
thing, she was
And
like,
I
oh.
even like their dynamic, Miranda and Fimran's dynamic, even with Davion, because he was out there teasing her with it, like, oh, you feeling some type of way because I'm talking to this girl? You keep talking to her,
Exactly.
she keeps talking. Like, what, you got a problem with that? Really? Okay. I really love the conversation. It felt good. It felt YA-ish, but it felt kind of nerdy anime-ish, but it was a traditional cartoon. The art style was amazing. The fight scenes were good. I felt more fulfilled watching this than I did Yasuke, actually.
Oh, I hope so.
So I'm going to give it a full meal.
All right, cool.
I mean, binge out.
binge out.
Binge
All
out.
right.
Binge out.
Syntell, man, tell us your rating.
Like Court, I didn't really play the game. I've watched people play the game, so I didn't know the history behind it. So I walked in here with a clean slate, and I was thoroughly entertained. For me, a good measure of if I'm engaged completely is the phone test, and I never went to my phone for any of the episodes. It kept me going. I liked the voice acting with the exception of the random Irish accents, which is just funny to me.
Jesus, fine, Joseph.
Yeah,
What are you doing? You don't like that.
I
Irish is
stupid.
not for you.
I loved my villains. You know my thing. I loved my villains. I as long as I got a villain that I can understand their reason and their purpose, and I can feel that purpose, and I can be like, yeah, okay, you're gonna be a good villain, and I got that from my villains. I liked my heroes. But here's the thing, though, man, and this is what's gonna change the score a little bit. Like, in Jujutsu Kaisen, there's moments where I'm like, oh my God, oh shit, I can't believe that just happened. In Invincible, there's moments where I'm like, oh my God. I never really had that in this show. It was all just good. It was all just good stuff. I'm like, wow, okay, that's really thoughtful. That's really good. And it kept it going. But I never had that. And that's the only reason why I can't give it a binge worthy. It's a good, solid project. They did a good job. And I'm hoping it gets even better with part 2. But I never really got that feeling. Like, I can't wait for the second season of Jujutsu to come out. I can't wait for Invincible to come out. This, I'm like, I mean, when it comes out, I'm going to watch it. But I'm not salivating for that. So for that, I'm going to give it a full meal.
Okay.
So we got 2 binge outs and a full meal.
Mm-hmm.
The score of 18. So
divided by
that's
4.
what-
That's 4.5.
Y'all mathing.
Yeah. We can round it down.
I'm gonna sit here on, like my beach and my deck and have,
So we're at a
have a drink.
4.5. So
18
when
divided
I was
by
in
4.
school, if it was 5 and
4.5.
above, you round it up, and
Round it
4
up.
and below, you round it down. So with that being said, we'll give it a binge out.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not
Yeah.
mad at that at all.
We rounded it up. It's 4.5. So yeah, we rounded
Okay.
up to a binge out.
It's not bad.
I would recommend it. I would certainly
recommend
recommend it.
I'm fully invested in. I'm looking forward to season 2 as well. I hope Netflix
Okay.
doesn't make us wait too long.
Yeah, hope not. We'll see.
All right, Benjis. That concludes our show for the day. Thank you for tuning in. Shouts out to Digital Click for all the creative that you provide. Please follow us on Twitch. And if you love what we are doing, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to your account using your Prime Gaming, and it costs you nothing, but it means the world to us. So with that being said, thank you all for tuning in, and we will talk to you next week when we're doing what? What are we doing next week?
Jupiter's Legacy.
Jupiter's Legacy. That's right. Jupiter's Legacy. So
Interested.
if you liked what you saw here tonight, please tune in next week, and we're going to follow that up with an evaluation of Jupiter's Legacy. All right. Talk to you guys later. Peace.